This is the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Eagles and news around the NFL. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Chickies and Pete's, Allstate Fairless Hills Tom LaCroix, Penworth Financial Services, Penn Community Bank, Capital Grill, Ventresca's LTD, Independence Blue Cross, and SEPTA. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. Great to be with you. We are at the beautiful, and I do mean beautiful, spectacular Chickies and Pete's in Malvern. If you haven't been to this Chickies and Pete's, you've got to put it on your bucket list. I mean, this is a gorgeous place. It really is. And I just had a chicken Milanese sandwich that was fantastic. Anyhow, Merrill Reese, Bob Grotz, and we have one of my favorite guests, former first-round draft choice of the Philadelphia Eagles, defensive end out of Boston College. How about a nice welcome for Mike Mamula?
What's going on, Merrill?
Here you are.
Here I am.
Here you are. You stayed in the area. You adopted Philadelphia. You came from upstate New York, so I can understand why you decided to come to the warm climate.
I think Philadelphia adopted me.
Well, they did. They adopt all the players who are favorites of theirs on their teams, and you certainly had a good stay with the Eagles.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. I enjoy it here. The climate's great. The people are awesome, and I'm not going anywhere.
You followed the team pretty closely. I know
do.
that you just love football.
I do. I love this team. I love the staff. I love the folks in the office, and everyone's like family.
You go down there. You go to training camp a day or two a summer.
Yeah, they allowed me to come down this year, bring a couple folks for work, and I was able to. They asked me to come down and do appearances and whatnot, so I enjoy it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to know Nick Sirianni at all?
I met him briefly, and it's funny because we started talking, and he was like, I know you. He's like, Lackawanna is where I grew up, and he grew up about 45 minutes from where I grew up, so he's probably about 10 years younger than me. But
that's right, Jamestown, right?
Jamestown, and he would play my high school in different sports, so he knew the location and everything.
It's funny how much he talks about Mountain Union, where he went to college. Okay. He is always talking about that area, and his father was a high school coach, and one of his brothers is a coach, and he came up through that whole system. It's a football crazy place, right?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot else to do there. So
I heard there's a great Mexican place in Hamburg, New York.
Oh, Hamburg, New York.
Right.
Look
Coyote Cafe, yeah.
Look out.
I know the owner.
Shout out to Coyote Cafe.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know he knew anything.
Well, yeah.
He was just on his phone.
But that's a beautiful area out there, too. I mean, there's not a big city nearby. Buffalo's okay, but
it's a great. I love going back.
It's a beautiful
especially
area.
in the summer. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Mike, did you play football as a little kid?
I played until I was. I broke my arm when I was 11. So from like 8 to 11, broke my arm. Then I didn't play again until I was 14. So I took those couple of years off in between.
Then you started your high school career.
Then I started in 9th grade, and then through senior year, and then I went on to go to BC.
I'll bet you had a lot of offers.
I didn't.
No?
No. BC was my 1A offer. I was offered by UConn in Connecticut, and I was going to go to UConn, and then or UConn in New Hampshire. I was going to go to New Hampshire. Sorry about that. And then BC came in at the last minute, and they were like, would you like to come for a visit? And I went, and the rest is history.
Wow. And BC's a big time school.
Yeah. Back then, especially. Now it's had its problems in the last couple of years, but back then it was definitely a destination location.
Now, was the coach there then Jack Bicknell?
No, it was Tom Coughlin.
Oh, Tom, wow. That was after Jack Bicknell, right?
Exactly, right after.
Really?
Yeah, actually, Coughlin, when I was on my recruiting trip, he was coaching with the Giants and they were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that last week of January, that one on my recruiting visit, he was coming in via teleconference, talking to the recruits, telling them, what his story was, what's going to happen. And I didn't really care because I was ready to sign the paper anyways, because that was my one and only 1A offer.
That's interesting. And you know what's interesting about that?
Did you get there 10 minutes early with Coughlin? Yeah.
I got here 10 minutes early,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson.
If you're not 10 minutes early with him, you're late.
Yeah.
I like Tom. I like Tom a lot. And the thing is, he had been at Boston College first as an assistant coach, and then he came to the Eagles. And that's when we became friends, and we used to debate all the time because he was Doug Flutie's quarterback coach at Boston College. And I used to say, I just think he's too small to make it in the NFL. Tom was, no, he's got everything it takes. And actually, Flutie had a pretty successful NFL career.
Yeah, it's a shame he wasted so many years in Canada, because it seemed like no one wanted to give him a shot here. And then he went up there, did his thing, and then came back and had many great years in the NFL.
He really did.
Yeah.
Now, was he there with you at all?
No, we were.
Oh, no, you were
10 years separate.
Oh, sure.
I think he came in one time when I was at school. He was probably, he's like 8-10 years older than me. We played rec basketball with him, and he was like Steve Nash out there.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was moving around pretty good.
I have a picture in my study, and it's of Tom Coughlin with his feet on the desk and the Lombardi Trophy sitting to his right, and it says to Merrill, "The joy is in the journey."
Yeah, it sounds like him. And then guess what? He got his own.
Yeah.
That's right.
He did. He really did. He was a good coach, and he's a good man.
He would have been a great military sergeant, commander, whatever you want to call it, because that's exactly that's exactly what I needed at that time in my life.
Did you?
18 years old, coming out of high school, that's what you need. You need that kind of, mentorship. You need that kind of discipline, and then
kind of in your face type of guy.
Yeah, well, not in your face. Well, yeah, in your face when you do something that you're not supposed to do, of course.
He came very close to coming back to the Eagles. We're talking about Tom Coughlin as a head coach when Andy left, and they were interviewing coaches, and Tom was at that point separated from the Giants.
Jacksonville.
It was kind of a mutual.
The Giants,
the second time.
The Giants decided to move on.
Yeah.
Tom had been there and won 2 Super Bowls, and Tom at that point showed interest in the Eagles' job, and he was a prime candidate, Bobby. I think at one point.
What a memory you have! Right, he interviewed.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
I wonder what went wrong there.
It was like the second or third interview.
I don't think anything went wrong there, except they decided to go younger. And they also brought back one of their own, and that was Doug Peterson, which didn't turn out to be a bad decision.
No, it did not. No, it did not. He made the call with Hurts, didn't he?
Oh, he did. He really did. And one of the things, I have been a Hurts guy from the beginning. I loved him when I saw him at Alabama. I loved him at Oklahoma. I loved when the Eagles drafted him. Now, at that time, Carson Wentz was the man. And Carson Wentz was upset. And I understand quarterbacks being upset when they draft another quarterback. And the reason I understand that is they get the feeling, not that they're going to be losing their job, but they get the feeling, why didn't they draft another offensive lineman who could help me? Why didn't they draft another receiver that could help me?
Yep.
And they wasted their draft pick and they picked another quarterback. But that wasn't the case with Carson Wentz. He was always looking over his shoulder, and he was very uncomfortable around Hurts.
And he was always hurt at the end of the year. Carson was,
Yeah.
Which is, if he didn't get it, that's a tough one to try and tell him. Every time when you needed him the most at the end of the year in the playoffs.
No bueno.
Yeah, he just wasn't there.
And same thing happened with Indianapolis.
Yeah, he has a track record of that. That's for sure.
And Merrill too. Merrill had brought up a real good point. After that knee injury he had, he tore a couple ligaments. He was not as mobile as that guy, as the pre-knee injury guy.
Did he have back issues as well?
Yeah, the following year when he came back from the torn ACL, torn MCL, and structural damage, he came back, and that year he cracked a vertebrae and sat out the rest of that season.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then came back. And the thing is, Mike, he was never the same quarterback. He was never able to be the quick twitch athlete that he was when he first came here. And that happens to quarterbacks. Look, Brett Favre had to readjust every week because if it wasn't his arm, it was his knee. If it wasn't his knee, it was his shoulder. But he always strapped it up and played. But he had to make adjustments. Doug almost tore his hair out because he could not get Carson to somehow adjust his game. He couldn't do the running that he did before. And certainly the thing he couldn't do and that he used to do was take on linebackers. That is one of the best things the Eagles have done this year. And they have basically said to Jalen Hurts, we do not want you beating up your body. Slide, get down, don't run, let it go. There's a whole new style this year. People were saying, boy, he's not the running quarterback he was. Somebody even said he's lost speed. He hasn't lost speed. He's gained brain power.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
He's playing smart football because if you lose Jalen Hurts, I don't care what you do. I mean, look, they have Mariota, who will be a suitable backup, but he's not Jalen Hurts. As Jalen Hurts goes, so go the Eagles.
Do they practice sliding? I haven't seen that.
Well, I don't know if they practice.
In training camp, they had a drill where they would jump. Yeah, they get the ball and hit him with some of those blocking dummies, just the light pads, and then they would take a fall. Yeah, but he's really good at it.
Well, the funny thing
Hurts he's a lot better than those drills.
Well, you know what the funny thing is, Bobby? One of the greatest athletes I have ever seen, and to this day, the purest thrower of a football, passer of a football, was Michael Vick. I mean, when that ball went by you, you could hear it hum.
Yeah,
he was
just
fluid.
Amazing. But he couldn't slide. No, the Falcons sent him over to the Braves and had the Braves work on his sliding, and he couldn't do it. He would fall down. He would go head first. He could not slide. I'll bet you could slide.
Want to go out in the parking lot?
No.
You go first.
No. I have trouble trotting, let alone sliding. But I'll tell you, Jalen is very, very smooth with that. And it's important.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, you got to save your body. You have to be out there. You have to be out there to play. And why get hit? Nobody wants to get hit. You're not going to go out, to a restaurant and say, somebody hit me.
No. But you know what? Carson, and there are quarterbacks. I'll tell you he's a great quarterback. He's up in your old area. I think that Josh Allen is a great quarterback.
He doesn't slide.
But he's not going to make it through the season.
He'll try to jump over you.
Yeah.
He'll slide sooner or later.
Yeah, he's starting to slide a little bit, but you're right.
He better, otherwise he's not going to make it through the season.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Because he is too aggressive. He will run through a wall. And unfortunately, there are players in this league who are built like walls, and they don't give.
And they're everywhere.
And they're everywhere. They're amazing. I mean, I like him. I think he's got a great arm. I think he's a great athlete. But boy, look at the guys who win the Super Bowls. Yeah, Tom Brady. Tom Brady would never run into anybody.
No.
He had the quickest release. He'd stand there in the pocket, in the gun. He'd take the snap, let it go, or. If there was a clear path in front of him, he would trot and then slide. That was it.
Or Trent Dilfer. Yeah. Now, his style was, that was the defense, right? Okay.
Yeah, that was the defense.
Yeah. I got to ask Mike something, though. If you had to rush Jalen Hurts, how would you do it? People have been spying him, so, that takes away some of the runs. But if you just had to pass rush him, what would you do? What do you do? Do you get upfield? Do you have to?
Yeah, outside in. You got to keep him inside because you can't allow him to get to the edge because he'll burn you.
And that is almost impossible, isn't it?
Well, it depends on if you got somebody else filling from the inside. You got to have all the gaps covered, but that's perfection, and that's not going to happen.
No, it's tough. All right, Mike Mamula is our guest, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, and we are prouder than ever to partner with the Philadelphia Eagles. Chicky and Pete's has been named the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, and we continue to serve as the official caterer of both Eagles training camp and the official caterer of the First Trust Bank Club at Lincoln Financial Field. Go where the players go. the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. Chickies and Pete's.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
At Penn Community Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors. That comes in handy when you're purchasing your first place, refinancing an existing mortgage, buying a second home or investment property, or looking to tap into your home's equity. Whatever your situation, we pair the latest products, services, and technology that you need with the experienced banking professionals you want. Visit penncommunitybank.com or stop by your local branch to find out how we can make your family's growth personal. Penn Community Bank. Here we are and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details. Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern. Mike Mamula is our guest. Mike, this has been an interesting season. They slipped by the Patriots. They just about got by the Vikings. They blasted Tampa Bay, but then this last game was a very, very interesting escape.
Definitely a nail biter, and like Sirianni said, it seems like you grow and you learn from this type of win. Everyone's kind of understanding that they have to have everybody else's back to get over the hump. Yeah,
he says a game like this gives you character. Well, I think the Eagles have acquired enough character in the first month.
You're done with character?
I think I'm done with character. I think I'm ready for some blowouts.
So I wasn't listening to the entire broadcast, but I heard you had some amazing calls this past weekend. Amazing. I did see one, a TikTok one. It was, I guess the field goal. The field goal.
Yeah, well,
you were a little excited.
Jason Kelsey said that it sounded like a Nordic war cry. but you know what? It's fun. It's fun to have a game like that goes down. I mean, at least we keep all our listeners tuned in until the very, very end. But the fact is, people think they forget. They think, well, last year's team, 14-3, this team can't possibly be as good. Think about this. Last year they opened up by just about beating a Lions team that nobody realized was as good as it turned out to be. They only beat Arizona because they got a field goal from someone named Dicker the Kicker. Remember Dicker the Kicker?
Oh yeah, he's still around.
Okay.
Dicker.
They were lucky to beat Houston. I like to say in Houston they had a problem. Houston, we have a problem. But they did. They had a problem in Houston. They beat a bad Colts team by 1 point. 1 point. They got upset by Washington when they were 8-0. So, last year they went to the Super Bowl. They were 14-3, but it was not a weekly walk in the park.
Yeah, and it seems like, winning the close games is where it's at. There's statistics when you're watching a game. They're like, this team, let's say, Detroit of last year, they lost 8 games out of 10 that they were, losing or winning by 3 points towards the end of the game. I think a lot of that has to do with Hurts as well, being able to overcome that adversity at the end to then win.
Yeah, when you were playing, and I'm going back mid-'90s, your team kind of really built on those wins over the Cowboys, right? Those were kind of like rallying things. Can you talk about that a little bit?
That's all I know is every year that game was circled, and that's the one that we wanted to win, regardless of what's going on. So I don't know about the trajectory or what's going on as far as the rest of the season, but that was the ones that we were focused on.
Boy, I remember a great game you had at the Vet. I think you had a sack. You had an interception. Did you have a scoop and score?
I had a sack, pick up the fumble, and I ran it for a yard against Arizona. And then the Gray Show on Turf, the last regular season game, I had 2 sacks, an interception for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was it.
And then I let a guy go in for me because I was gassed, and they didn't block him, and he got a sack.
Oh, my goodness.
So.
But you had a great game.
Yeah, that was fun. It was actually the week after my kids were born.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. You had twins.
I did. Still do.
Still do. And they're great children.
Thank you very much.
They're making you proud.
Yeah, they are. They are cool. They're great.
That's great. Now, when you've watched this team, can you see this team being – I'll be honest, I think from a sheer personnel standpoint, I think they will turn out to be better. That doesn't mean they're going to the Super Bowl, but I think they will turn out to be better on the roster than last year's team.
If they stay healthy, they're rock solid, and I think they're gonna keep on winning, whether it be a blowout, whether it be a tight game. They're gonna keep on winning. They with Sirianni, with Hurts, the leaders on that team, they're gonna do things to propel themselves to victory pretty much every game, I believe.
Yeah. Hey, I got to say this. Merrill doesn't like to project ahead, but I do. I love it.
Yin and yang. Opposites attract.
I look at that schedule, and I look at their talent, and I look at the NFC, and they don't play San Francisco, which I think is another. It's the only other really good team.
I agree.
That's on the Eagles level. They don't play them until what? Almost the new year, late in December. So I think the Eagles could make a little bit of history here. I think they're looking at a second straight 8-0 start. And the last time that happened was with Peyton Manning and the Colts in 2005-06. And the last time that happened, the second year of the 8-0 start, the Colts won the Super Bowl. So
the second year.
Yeah. So I think we're – I think
Did they go to the Super Bowl the first year?
No, they didn't make it.
No.
They didn't make it, yeah.
You see, Bob is saying that, and meanwhile I'm saying this week at SoFi Stadium is going to be a test. And I don't think the roster's all that fabulous. A lot of different guys from the team that won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but they still have Matthew Stafford, and he's a smooth veteran quarterback with a golden arm. They still have Aaron Donald, who is one of the most terrifying defensive linemen in the game. And they still have terrific tight end and Tyler Higbee. They've got some people who can play. And the Eagles are 4-0, and they're coming off an escape, and they're flying 3,000 miles across the country.
So do they go the night before, or do they go two nights before?
No, they go Saturday.
The night.
Saturday afternoon.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's because Chip came here and decided that sports science says that the jet lag occurs 2 days. So they'll have the jet lag on Monday. No, I still don't buy that. I still think teams should go 2 days before, but
Chip is his second favorite Eagles head coach,
goodness.
right after Vermeil. Yeah.
Look, my favorite Eagles coach is Dick Vermeil, and I'm sure you've gotten to know him.
Love
Isn't
Dick
he
Vermeil.
the best? But to me, he's the best. To me, even Richie Kotite could be nice and friendly and communicative. I'll be honest with you. My unfavorite coach of all was Chip Kelly, because he may have been bright, but he had zero communication skills. And I think whether you're a teacher, whether you're a businessman, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're an engineer, a chemist, you must be able to communicate, and that man cannot communicate.
Yeah, I mean, he had that whole fast-paced offense. They thought he was revolutionizing the whole entire game, and somebody sniffed it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Remember Carey, the defensive back? He said that they were gassed. They just couldn't. The defense couldn't.
I
hold
couldn't
up
even
under
imagine.
That. Yeah. He said it. He said the thing about this style of play is, our legs are dead. In like the second half of the games. And,
I mean, he's a college coach. He went out
yeah.
to San Francisco and won nothing.
Yeah.
I think he won one game. But in colleges, I mean, when he was at Oregon, which is funded by Nike, he used to have 100 guys
in and
on
out.
that. Yeah, and 100 guys on that sideline.
Yeah, and there was a lot of rotation there, so you're able to do that kind of thing.
I
You
like,
can't do that with
I
a
like that
53-man
offense,
roster.
though. I like the offense. Bill Belichick did some of that too. The hurry-up thing and.
The K-gun.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly.
I mean, yeah, they were really the originators.
Yeah.
But Kelly just turned it up to a. But it just wasn't going to work. Merrill's right. It would not work in the NFL with a limited roster.
You played for Richie?
I did not.
No, you came in with
Ray
Rhodes.
Oh, with Ray.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ray.
I was here as Lurie's first pick as an owner.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Absolutely. You picked by Ray, and I liked Ray.
Yeah, Ray was great. He was a great coach, all the way around player, and he had enough administrative ability to make things happen.
Yeah, he got fired by Joe Banner. Joe Banner made that move. Ray went on, coached a little bit in this
Green Bay.
This is a funny story. He coached in Green Bay for a year, and then he went to Cleveland as an assistant. And but Ray and I used to do a show together. So Ray,
Where was this at?
we used to do a show every Monday night at the Engine 46 Steakhouse on Delaware Avenue. And he was not a Joe Banner fan. And he used to refer to Joe Banner as that little blah, 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 blah.
I don't know if you could tell the story on the air.
I can tell the story. I'll just clean it up.
He's a self-bleeper.
He used to refer to Joe as that little blah, 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 blah. So 2 years later, I meet him. We had a preseason game in Cleveland.
Okay.
And he's on the field before the game, and I come in and I go walking over to Ray, and I hugged him, and I said, "How are you?" He said, "How am I?" Now, don't forget, right before that season, Joe Banner became a minority owner and the head of football with Cleveland.
Yeah,
so
he followed him.
I said, "How are you?" He said, "How am I?" He said, "That little blah, 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 blah got me in Philadelphia, and he's going to get me again."
The bane of his existence.
And he did. He did. But I will never forget that. But Ray was one of a kind.
Yeah, he was. He was amazing.
Yeah, just a lot of fun. But look, Andy was a guy that you really have to respect.
Yeah, he had it all. He had the player and the administrative to a science. What's great about him. He knew when to pull back. He knew when to push guys.
Now, you played some for Andy, right?
No.
2 years.
2 years.
Oh, you played 2 years with him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 years. So, yeah, it was
99
fun.
and 2000?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Stayed here 14 years, he did.
Yeah, he did.
That's a long time.
It is.
But I think it helps when you move on and you draft a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. Now, this takes nothing away. It takes nothing away from Andy. He's an excellent, excellent coach. I think Belichick goes down as the greatest coach of all time.
But he had, Brady, and then Andy's done it in two different places.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, you got to kind of put that in perspective.
I think this is still a fluid situation with Andy because it's amazing what he's done.
Yeah.
With two different organizations, I mean, it's just
the success is amazing.
Yeah, it's just mind-boggling.
He's definitely dedicated.
Yeah, I mean the guy. I mean, he's just driven. And Merrill, I don't see him. I see him coaching until he's 70. I don't know about you.
Look, Pete Carroll is 72. Still running up and down the sideline.
See that yesterday?
I did.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's running around.
I'm not a fan of Pete. Yeah.
No. What did he do to you?
Nothing. I like Pete.
He didn't give me a good answer to my question about all his followers. That's what it was.
I like Pete. I think he's a very good coach. He's won a Super Bowl.
We got to go to a break.
We got another break.
We got a break.
All right. Mike Mamula is our guest. Chris Irmer is telling us to go to a break, and we will obey Chris. We'll be back.
Yeah.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side.
At Penn Community Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors. That comes in handy when you're purchasing your first place, refinancing an existing mortgage, buying a second home or investment property, or looking to tap into your home's equity. Whatever your situation, we pair the latest products, services, and technology that you need with the experienced banking professionals you want. Visit penncommunitybank.com or stop by your local branch to find out how we can make your family's growth personal. Penn Community Bank. Here we are and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
The life of an Eagles fan is a wild ride. Some years we triumph. Some years we don't. What never changes year after year is how we get to the game, shoulder to shoulder with our fellow fans on SEPTA. And this season, fans ride home free from NRG Station on the Broad Street line thanks to Unibet, an official casino and sportsbook partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Plan your trip to the game and learn more about free rides home, sponsored by Unibet at iseptaphilly.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details. Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And we are back at Chickies and Pete's beautiful, beautiful establishment in Malvern, Pennsylvania. And Bobby, what do you have?
It's that time of the week.
It is.
This week's injury review brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation. 215-806-3689. 215-806-3869. And, well, the injury report, I'm topping it with Cam Jurgens. He injured his foot in the first half, and Nick Sirianni said it would be week to week, but I got to say, Merrill, Sua Opeta was great.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, I think he played better than Jurgens did, although, I didn't review the film the way the Eagles did, but they were really happy about that. The kind of surprise injury to me, I wasn't aware of this right after the game.
I wasn't either.
Yeah. The punt returner, Britton Covey, has a concussion. Now, one of the candidates, if he can't go this week, he's in the protocol now. We're looking at Olamide.
No, it's Olamide.
Olamide?
I'll say it for you. Olamide Zaccheaus.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Now that's a candidate.
Well, that's why I'm here to bail you out.
That's a guy that could help out there.
Say it again. Say his name.
Olamide Zaccheaus.
Good. You got it. You've passed your test.
We're looking at him, and who knows? Devin Allen. Devin Allen has been catching punts in practice. I don't see that happening. And if worst came to worst, Devontae Smith. I mean, he's got great hands, and he's been back there before.
He's got great hands, but I don't want him exposed any more than he is exposed.
But if you just want to catch the ball, if it's a situational thing, you're deep. They're punting down into your.
Well, if that's the case, they can elevate. They can elevate Greg Ward.
Yeah, and Greg Ward, he did it, and he's got the hands to do that too. So, and they'd have to elevate him from the practice squad. But we could get,
But that would be easy because Britton Covey is a wide receiver. Also, he played about 6 snaps last week.
Yeah, and about the same the week before. And he had like a little bit of a sore hamstring. But Sidney Brown could be back this week. I have a feeling he'll be back, the safety. He sat out last week with a hamstring. And Justin Evans, I'm not sure about him, a neck injury. And I wouldn't be surprised if he missed another game. But he did practice. I don't know how much practice they do on a Friday. I think it's kind of a walkthrough.
It's a walkthrough.
Yeah, it's a glorified practice.
Aren't they all walkthroughs at this point?
Well, they're not exactly walkthroughs. They're not contact, but they do go out there and work for an hour and a half.
You could have played another 10 years, with this CBA.
CBA.
Yeah, and even the training camp. You guys used to hit how much in training camp?
Every day, twice a day.
Twice a day.
Yeah. They only hit it all. I went to like 3 practices. I didn't see
Who ran a tougher training camp, Ray Rhodes or Andy Reid?
Ray Rhodes. I mean, that was 95 through 98, old school, 2 days, just craziness. Yeah, it was nuts.
And you started off at Westchester, and that place was hot.
Yeah, it was miserable.
That was like
that bowl.
But anyway, that's the injury review.
Okay.
And brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689. 215-806-3689.
Mike, who are the players on this year's team that you really enjoy watching? One has to be, as a former defensive end, it has to be the rookie Jalen Carter.
I love him. I love watching him play, and I've learned through a couple other folks in the organization that he's a really good guy. So that makes it that much better I met him a couple times as well, so it's fun to watch.
Yeah, Jordan Davis is pretty good too. And last year he had a high ankle sprain and he had a concussion, but this year he's healthy and you can see the steps that he's taken.
Yeah, he looks great.
What was the game that they got the safety? Was it this past game or was it the game before?
That was the game in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I love that. That's what you dream about in that position, to get a safety in that scenario.
Well, he's tough.
They just completely infiltrated the entire offensive line.
They did. They pushed them. They started out 5 yards deep and they never got 4 yards forward.
It was great.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Everybody has an opinion. What are your thoughts, Mike Mamula, on the short yardage play that has become known as the tush push, although a lot of people have have come forward and said, would you please call it the brotherly shove, which I did on Sunday, where they all load up and Jalen Hurts bends down and they shove him forward.
It works, and that's all it really counts. And that's it's a rugby play, and it's like a crossover play. So it's fun to watch, especially when the Eagles do it, because they see him. What's their success rate on that? Is it 98%?
Oh yeah, close.
They were like 34-2 last year.
Yeah. No, that's great.
What would you do to stop it?
I would get somebody much bigger than me to get in the middle and push the other side.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. People resent the fact that the Eagles use that, and they say it's not really a football play, but football's an outgrowth of rugby anyhow. And I saw the Giants tried it last night,
Yeah,
and it didn't
trying
work.
Everyone's trying
They're
it.
trying it, and it doesn't always work. I think the key to the whole thing is the fact that you have a quarterback taking the ball who has the strongest lower body, who can actually bench press 600 pounds.
Yeah, it's great. It's a
Leg
play
press or squat. He means squat. Yeah.
Same
Squat,
difference.
is that what I mean?
Squat
Okay.
when
Yeah.
you bench press with your legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I mean, how do you stop a guy like that? I mean, you don't even need a tush push, really.
Yeah,
Do you?
it's helpful though.
Yeah. He gets an extra 1 or 2 yards. Instead of 1, you get 3.
I saw Penn State use it last week.
I think every team, it's a copycat league. Everyone's going to be doing it if they're not doing it already.
But they're not going to be doing it with the same success.
That's
Because
good.
they don't have Jalen Hurts.
It's good for us.
Yep. It's very, very good.
Well, I don't know. Now they got the officials are watching for it. They're watching the way the Eagles line up. There was an offsides. I mean, it still hasn't been clarified yet whether that was Landon Dickerson or Kelsey thought it might be him. He said after the game. Yeah, he said his hand, where his hand was on the ball.
How can the center be offside?
He
I
explained
don't
it to
know.
me twice.
Maybe it's
but
like see
he
his
thought
head
it
over
was
the
his
ball?
hand. Yeah, he didn't think it was Landon. But
Anyway,
he
also said that one of the he also said that there was another hand on the ball before he snapped it. That one of the commander's hands was on the ball.
Oh, I did not hear
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Smacked it before he
Actually
snapped
touched it when he was about to snap it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really
Kelsey's
strange.
really good with that ball.
Mike,
I mean, he'll put his hand over it and move it this way or that. and
If Mike
the
Mamula
defense
were
will
playing
jump.
today, would you be a defensive end or a linebacker? Because today they call linebackers edge rushers, like Hassan Reddick. He's not really a linebacker.
Yeah, I would be that position. I was pretty much the same size. What was he, 6'3", 245?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be playing exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. So you'd be officially a linebacker.
Is that what he is?
He's listed
Even
as a linebacker.
Is he?
And so is Nolan Smith.
Does he have his hand on the ground most times?
You know, I don't
not
think
much.
so.
He's
No.
standing up most of the time.
He's
See, I had
standing
my
up.
hand on the ground
Yeah.
all the time. I rarely stood up. So
Yes, you were classically positioned as
And
a
then-
defensive
yeah.
end.
You're a lot bigger than him, too.
taller probably.
Yeah, taller.
No,
and-
but what did you weigh?
245. That was it. Yeah, I remember after a game weighing myself, I weighed like 239. I
What do you
lost,
weigh now?
Like 235.
Oh, so you're
Yeah, I'm about the same.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you look like you've stayed in great shape.
Yeah, it's a labor of love.
Another guy that I'm anxious to see because he hasn't really played that much yet is Nolan Smith.
Yeah, I haven't
he
seen
was
him.
he
Yeah.
was their second pick in the first round.
Okay.
And he was injured at Georgia, but I'll tell you what, he can move like lightning.
Would they have him just on special teams?
No, he's played a few snaps, hasn't he, Bob?
Yeah, it's kind of he's a situational pass rusher.
Gotcha.
A
Third down guy.
situational pass rusher who drops into coverage, too. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. But, I give Sean Desai credit. When they need to get off the field, they do.
Yeah, that's
generally.
all that counts.
Yeah, I mean, this last game notwithstanding. I mean, 2 seconds left. I mean, touchdown. Merrill, you must have freaked out on that call,
What, the last
Yeah,
call,
right.
last play of the game?
No, for Washington, that touchdown that they got.
Yeah, the last their
Lord,
last play
yeah.
in regulation.
How about
I couldn't
Blankenship's
believe
arm?
that. Yeah.
Oh, but that saved something.
That saved the game, right?
Well, we don't know that
Yeah.
but it would have given them a first down.
Exactly.
But I like Blankenship.
Wow.
I think,
And then he's been hurt
I don't-
for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, his ribs, yeah.
yeah. Well, he
Just
missed
one
one
game.
he-
Just
just
one game.
one game.
Gotcha.
One game, but he's a tough kid.
Seems like it.
Here's a kid who was not drafted, out of what was it, Southwest Missouri State. Middle Tennessee State.
Played 5 years.
Yeah.
Because of COVID.
No, not drafted. And then is picked up as an undrafted free agent for the Eagles, by the Eagles. And here he is in his second year. He's the starter, one of the starting safeties.
Seems like he has the intangible that he's at the right place at the right time.
I think that's called instinct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He has it.
He sees the field like nobody else on that defense, the big picture. Yeah, that's really impressive, That's one of the most difficult things to me about football is being able to sync up your skills with the different angles and stuff that you need to do properly to play. That's hard.
And a little bit of luck helps.
Yeah.
Mike, I've made the statement that this is the best trio of receivers the Eagles have ever had. And, of course, by trio, and I say Devontae Smith.
We got to go to a break whenever you get a chance.
Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goedert. Those three are just incomparable.
It's fun to watch. It was funny. AJ, you could tell he was getting a little antsy. He wasn't getting his touches, but he did what he had to do last game. That was great.
Did. He really did. All right, we're going to be back right after this.
Here's Jungle Jack Hanna for Cosequin.
Some of the animals I love the most are in my own backyard, so it really broke our hearts when our dog Tasha had trouble getting around. But now, thanks to Cosequin, she's back to her old self.
For dogs, cats, and horses, trust Cosequin, the #1 vet-recommended brand of joint health supplements the Hannas rely on.
Tasha may not run like a cheetah, but with Cosequin, she's a heck of a lot faster than me.
Cosequin, available from veterinarians. And for retail locations, visit Cosequin.com.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And it is now time for this week's Penworth Financial Keys to the Game. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503 or visit penworth.com.
Oh, we got something from Billy Werndell here, too.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Billy Werndell is here.
The Eagles are going to sign Bradley Roby to the practice squad. Cornerback. He's got first-round pedigree. He's like 31, so, it can't hurt. And
they're going to sign him to the practice squad.
And get him in shape and see what happens from
Where
there.
are they getting him from?
He's out there. He's playing for
street?
nobody.
Huh.
Yeah. He's a street guy, yeah.
Where did he play last?
Denver?
Oh, Denver.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Remember when they got Ron Dixon and he was a truck driver when I was playing?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And who's the other guy? They had
Kevin Johnson? No.
Kevin Johnson. What was he? He was
D-tackles.
Yeah, but he was something similar, yeah. Wow. That was a colorful team.
I remember years ago, Bob.
Yeah.
They took a guy who was a truck driver in the Washington area by the name of Greg Brown, and they brought him back as part of the
defensive
Eagles team.
end. Yeah,
defensive end.
He
Stayed
could
there for a
get
long
after
time.
the passer.
Look, last year when they needed to, they got Ndamukong Suh. They picked him up, and that turned out to be a pretty good move.
Yeah, that was really good.
Is
that
he
was
still out there? Is he
yeah,
still playing?
he's out there.
Where's
right,
he playing?
Right. Nobody.
Oh,
No,
he's
he's not
out there.
He's waiting, and somebody will pick him up
Yeah.
halfway through the season, and
Smart.
he'll come in. And he's a good guy too.
That's what I hear.
Very, very good guy.
Oh, Cooper Kupp is going to start practicing this week too. He's
Now,
on IR.
He's on. They have 21 days in which to activate him.
But they could activate him this week.
They could. Look, the Rams are going to be a tough team. They're not going to be easy. Okay, so what do you think are the keys, Bobby? You want to give us a key?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to read this. Keys to the Game brought to you by Penworth Financial. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503. Visit penworth.com.
Yeah. Now this is a little bit of a cliche because you want to do this every week, but the Eagles always sputter a little bit when they go out to the West Coast for those games. The start is going to be huge, and they don't want to get behind at the half again like they did this past week and let the other team hang around. So they got to get after them right away. And that can be a cliche-ish, but that to me is the biggest thing for them.
Well, I don't know if it's the biggest. Now, my key, Mike Mamula, they used to say this about Reggie White. They used to say this about Lawrence Taylor. They said this about Khalil Mack. You take the great defensive players in the game, and they say, account for them on every single play. Know where they are and know that you're going to block them, even if you have to block them with two people. And that person, in the case of the Rams, is number 99, Aaron Donald. You cannot let him out of your vision.
They absolutely do. They need to at least have two guys on pretty much every play because that guy, he's got a motor and he doesn't take any plays off. As soon as you don't account for him, he's going to hurt you. And it could hurt you bad.
He doesn't have a sack against the Eagles yet, believe it or not.
I
just
believe
jinxed
it.
us.
In 3 games, yeah.
Yeah, but he's tough. He's tough.
Hey, they got this other receiver, too, Puka Nacua.
Uh-huh.
Or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
He had
He's lighting it up.
He had an abdominal injury 2 weeks ago, so maybe he's not full strength.
No, he's lighting it up. This is a rookie.
Yeah.
This is a rookie
He
guy.
is.
I mean,
came in for Cooper Kupp, right?
Yeah, exactly. Not a big guy. So there's another thing, and maybe Bradley Roby can even give him some snaps. If he's in good enough shape this week. They're a little short at cornerback.
Okay, and I'll give you my third key. And very interesting about this past game with Washington. No turnovers. No turnovers, none by either team. But I think there'll be a turnover in this game or two. Win the battle of turnovers. You win the battle of turnovers, you always have a better chance.
Absolutely. That's just the name of the game.
Okay.
Well, this guy, McVay, too, I mean, he's a heck of a coach. I mean, I know not everybody revere him the way I do, but I think, and this is a big game for the coaching staff, too.
He was
big
considering calling it a career. Not a career, but he was going to take a hiatus after last season.
A little burnout, yeah.
But came back.
It's like taking a year off of college. What is he, like 23 years old?
No, but he's not 35.
Basically, yeah.
Billy, how old is Billy Warndell is here, a spotter. How old is Sean McVay? Is he 35 yet?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
His grandfather.
Merrill knew his grandfather.
Well, no. Miracle of the Meadowlands. His grandfather was the head of the Giants at that time, and he was the guy who was there when the Eagles had their first Miracle of the Meadowlands when Herman Edwards ran it in the final seconds. All right, Bradley Roby last played with the New Orleans Saints in 2021 and 22. Before that with Denver, and before that with Houston. Billy Warndell is not worthless, Mike. You said he was worthless. I don't think he's worthless. I think he's worth something. Now, right now, we've got to pick our games. Bobby, you beat me by 2
I'll
last
take
week.
the Eagles this week.
Chris, would you pass me a pencil? All right, or a pen?
Oh, I got one
or
here.
Bobby has one. Okay. All right, first, Cleveland. No, is this Cleveland? Okay. No, it's not. Who was at Washington? I can't read them.
They're Thursday night, right?
Oh, no. Yes. Oh, here it is.
Chicago?
The
Yeah.
Bears at Washington. Mike?
Washington.
Bobby.
I'm taking the Bears.
The Bears can't beat.
Washington's, they're just
All
devastated by that loss. They lost in overtime.
I'll take Washington.
They got to play 3 days
Jacksonville
later.
stayed in London, and this week they play Buffalo. Bobby.
Buffalo.
Mike? Gotta go with the hometown.
Yeah.
Bills.
Yeah. Okay, I'm taking Buffalo, too. I'm rooting for Jacksonville. I love Doug. Dallas. Oh, this is a great one. Dallas and San Francisco.
Ooh. Oh, San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay, Mike?
I'm going to go San Fran only because they hate Dallas.
Okay.
Dak doesn't play well against San Francisco.
I picked San Francisco, too, but I'm worried about that game. New Orleans at New England.
New Orleans.
Well,
Bobby.
New England's in trouble. I'll take New England.
New England?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way Minnesota could beat Kansas City? No.
No.
Okay. Cincinnati.
If Taylor Swift shows up at halftime, yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Cincinnati and Arizona.
Oh, Cincinnati.
Okay.
Easy.
Cincinnati?
Easy.
I am picking Arizona. Cincinnati doesn't know what they're doing. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Bobby, hurry.
I'll take Indianapolis.
I'll go Tennessee.
I'll go Tennessee. And finally, I laugh.
I'll take the Eagles.
We don't pick the Eagles.
Oh, we're still not doing that.
Finally.
Damn.
How about this one? The Giants at Miami.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh, that's a head scratcher. How many points you getting?
Okay.
Let me tell you something. And Miami's angry because they're coming off a loss. So they're playing the Giants.
Yeah.
We have a half minute to go. So I'll thank Chris Ermer, who did a great job. I will thank Bill Warndell, who was our production assistant. I will thank our executive producer, Cindy Reese, and thank all of you for being here with us. So for Bob Grotz and for Mike Mamula, this is Merrill Reese. Have a great evening. Go Phillies, and we'll see you Sunday from L.A.
8:08 tonight.
Big game.
You've been listening to the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Tonight's show is an exclusive presentation of 1490 AM, as well as 107.3 FM, and heard around the world at WBCB1490.com.